Good morning. 0 dark 30 here in Minnesota. Day 1. We're almost to the starting point. Stopped at McDonald's. There is my lovely chauffeur. It's the morning of day 1 here. The theme for the morning is gravel roads and cornfields, but it's just beautiful out here. Drove down to Spring Valley. Thanks to Denise for giving me a ride. And she was very patient while I spent an hour putting the bike back together after having put it in pieces in the back of the car. Put all the bags back on it. And then the off-road sections down here are really great. The on-road sections are smooth, but there isn't very much of a shoulder, which is a little bit of a drag. So it's time to stop for lunch, day 1. I'm right at a junction in the Root River Trail. Came through Preston, stopped and got some water, used their bathrooms, always important. And there's this beautiful little rest stop a few miles further down the trail into kind of rolling farmland, and the trail is miraculous. I can't believe that they invested and built this beautiful, long, paved trail. It's awesome. Luncheon of Champions today. The ever reliable ramen a la alcohol stove. Here's all my junk. But I do carry the kitchen in one pannier, so everything's in there. And if I am in doubt, like I was today for the first time, it's in there because everything's in there somewhere. There's this beautiful grass here, which I'm not sure if it's a sod farm or why someone's cultivating it, but it is just incredibly green. I was wrong. It's golf. The golfers have arrived. Lanesboro. And listen to what they're playing on the sound system. It's like they knew I was coming. Good morning, starting day 2. I feel good this morning. I had a good night's sleep. Very quiet out here for the most part. End of the day yesterday turned into a little bit of a struggle. I was planning to camp at this place called Vinegar Ridge based on the fact that they listed having water on their website. And Vinegar Ridge is a ridge. I had to push my bike up a bunch of kind of sandy snowmobile trails to get to the campground, only to discover that they don't actually have water. So that was about mile 57 yesterday, and then I had to come down those trails out of that campground and continue. I ended about 65 miles for the day, but found this really nice RV park campground that's right off the trail. So all I had to do was get a little further, walk another hill, and pull in. They were very nice, even though I arrived a little bit late, and had a shower and a hot meal, and did end up eating in the dark, but it's all good. Today it's Mississippi River, Lacrosse, all the way to the beginning of the Elroy Sparta State Trail in Wisconsin. Made it as far as the Mississippi River. Still upright. Sparta Trail tonight, if I can make it that far. Hello, Wisconsin. Beautiful, smooth gravel trail. It's about 1:45 on Tuesday, and I'm stopped here because there is shade provided by Interstate 90, which is a welcome relief. I'm gonna have a little luncheon of Mexican-style flatbread, puree of peanut butter, compote of canned fruits. I discovered this stuff called, I think it's called squeeze nut butter, and it doesn't look very appetizing, but it tastes good on the trail. Hey, Tuesday evening, and I'm at Wisconsin DNR campground in Sparta, Wisconsin. Happy to have made it here. Today was a little easier, I guess, on paper, a little harder because of the previous day and just being tired. But I got camp set up back here, about to cut up some wood, make a fire. I'm going to cook on wood tonight. I have been kind of going through the alcohol maybe a little faster than would work to cook every single meal that way, and there's a lot of available deadfall at this campsite. As you can hear, this looks remote, but it's actually right next to Interstate 90, so there's a lot of traffic noise here, but still, it's nice, it's secluded, there's nobody else around. I got a beer in Sparta at the coolest little thing called the Beer Shop that I think is a renovated Art Deco gas station. If you're ever in Sparta, just take the slight detour and go and see that place and grab a beer because it's awesome. Anyway, I'm off to cook. This all works. Got a good wood fire. I always wonder about this pot, if that orange coating on the handle is ever going to melt off it. And that reminds me, the equipment on a trip like this just absolutely takes a beating. I think I've bent the chainring on my bike, not badly enough that I can't ride it, but doesn't feel quite right. Of course, one of the hazards with a 60-pound fully loaded bike is that it tips over, which did happen today while I stopped at the Sparta train depot. I don't think that did any harm, but the bar tape is marked up, and I had this fairly exotic dry bag from the same company that made my sleeping quilt. And it's really nice, but it has a hole in it already after the first day. If there's any pinch point on the bike where there are hard surfaces, when you ride and it vibrates, it just can eat holes in everything. There's some holes in my tent pole bag already. I'm really hoping I can protect the tent itself from getting holes in it. Anyway, not a complaint, just an observation, and it does make you wonder what those folks do that are like traveling across Kyrgyzstan or something like that. Whatever gear you bring has to be super rugged, apparently. Anyway, lasagna, dehydrated of course, is on the menu. Wednesday, Sparta was nice. Last night, I'm in this wonderfully secluded looking but traffic noisy campground, but it's nice. Got up this morning around 6, made a fire, got some hot coffee going, and these Vietnamese coffee style condensed milk packets are awesome. Make a great warm cream and sugar coffee in the morning. And I'm just having some granola today for breakfast. Make it easy. Next, I've got to figure out my next campground. Starting to kind of turn south from Sparta on the next trail and headed down to Spring Green, Wisconsin. Giving the bike once over this morning. They say you should always check and make sure, especially that the rack bolts don't back themselves out. And I will say I nearly lost one of these late yesterday. Was paying attention and noticed it, but that would have been ugly. But the bike's holding up pretty well. I had a mishap. I think the chain came around, got caught up here, and scratched the chainstay here. And I'm worried the ring is slightly bent. Every once in a while, I get a tick, 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 tick from the front that I can't seem to fix with the derailleur. So, still rideable. No emergency. But Sheila here is great. She just likes to keep going mile after mile after mile after mile, which is awesome. Headed to Wonewok, Wisconsin, where I hear there's maybe showers with the campground, which would be spectacular. Here's the first tunnel. Super cool. This is incredible. I'm going to stay here for a minute. I'm going to stay here for a minute. Thank you. You too. I just came through this tunnel, and friends, that is the most insane thing I have ever done on a bicycle. It's long, it is pitch black inside. There is groundwater raining from the ceiling and running down the walls inside it. Wild, wild, fun experience. in a Lions Club picnic shelter. All these little towns, they have their baseball fields, their Lions clubs, kids coming home from school. That's neat. I've got a tortilla with chicken in a pouch. I did not eat at this Mexican restaurant that's right over here that I'll show you in a minute, which was so tempting and looked really good, but I'm trying to stick to my budget and eat the food that I carried with me. But beautiful, beautiful ride today. Here's the restaurant, if I succeeded in filming it. If you are in Wonewok, Wisconsin, definitely try the restaurant. Site of the Wonewok truck and tractor pull. It's going to be a good time. Current situation. I made it to Wonewok, and this is the Lions Park campground with the fire pit. So, hurrah! But no showers, I think, because it's off season. I called the police department, the chief assemblyman, and the village office, and all of them have voicemail recordings by the same gentleman, which is funny, instructing you to call somewhere else. Anyway, I'm going to figure out if I have to pay for this or not tomorrow before I leave, because I don't want to cheat anybody, but if it's really closed and off season, then you know that's okay too. And hit the grocery store. This little town has a wonderful grocery store called Heritage and amazing public library. I went in and just asked the librarian where I should go because almost nothing is on Google Maps. So anyway, it's all worked out great. Friendly people. And a little bit shorter day today, I think 40 miles, but I'm feeling it. So Thursday and Friday yet to go, but I'm well past halfway. I'm gonna eat this enormous tomato. Thursday, I'm up. Coffee's made. I'm staying in this Wonewok Municipal Campground, which is really nice. I think I had the name wrong yesterday. I thought it was Lions, but it's not Lions. It's Legion Park, connected with their local swimming pool, which is very cool. Met two nice guys from Twin Cities and Naperville, and they're old friends. They, I think, started in the Twin Cities together, and they're riding to Naperville together. So it sounds like a super cool trip. Anyway, this spot's really pretty. They do have RV sites. I'll probably try to do 50 today. I still need to go and look up a campground and see which one is within striking distance. I'm hoping I can find a place with a more complete bathroom and shower facility this time. But things are going great. See you next time. Thursday morning, Wisconsin. Whew, I'm in Rock Springs. Came off the end of the 400 trail and onto some beautiful back roads, but that means no longer rail grades and now up and down, up and down. Went up this beautiful street called Skyline Drive, which was every bit as hard to get up as you could guess from the name. But beautiful view from the top. You could see for miles. And then came across some construction barrels blocking this kind of sketchy gravel road that was on my route. And I asked a nice gentleman if a bike could make its way through there, and he said, yeah, they just don't want any cars going down it because it's a little tough going. So I came down it. I think it was the steepest descent that I've ever been down on a bicycle. I couldn't get a picture of it that did it justice, but when I got to the bottom of that, my hands were gripping the brakes, and the brakes were smoking like a race car. It was awesome. And then at the bottom, a very nice woman pointed me to the spring water here in Rock Springs. I would have gone right by it and not noticed it, but in this little park back over there, spring water just flows 24/7, ice cold. It's just a beautiful thing. So I filled up my whole kit over here. So I am at Devil's Lake Campground, and it's pretty great. It's maybe a third full end of the season. There is a Devil's Lake with a beach, and there is a chateau gift shop, and there was ice cream to be had, which I had. And I went for a swim, got unpacked, got set up. Today's hills were tough. I walked 2 or 3 of them. But I'm alive, and things are good. And then tomorrow's the last day down to Spring Green. So, weird things I learned. I much prefer eating with the bowl instead of eating out of the envelope, even though you have to wash the bowl. Also, once you decide which end of this thing you're going to use, you're fully committed, because there's no switching ends. So, fork or spoon, choose carefully. Also, this trip was the first time that I've ever eaten with a multiplier, which kind of works. The other thing, be aware, these companies will put all kinds of promises of different shaped pasta. It might say lasagna, it might say fettuccine, it might say a lot of things. It's always rotini. I like rotini, so that's cool, but just be aware.
Friday, I'm up. Had a decent thunderstorm overnight last night, but no water in the tent. I didn't sleep very well because I just kept waking up at every noise and lightning flash. But made a hot breakfast this morning. Last of the coffee, last of the ride. Spring green this afternoon.
Back on trails. I think this is the Great Sauk Trail. It's nice to have good pavement and be able to go a little faster. I can see the end coming. Hotel tonight. Friday night, I made it to Spring Green, Taliesin, and the hotel, and had a much needed shower, had a swim, hot tub, hamburger. Everything is good. Denise and Rob came to pick me up, and I am so happy to be in a bed for tonight.